This Switch has been out for a while now, and I love it, you love it, but let's be honest, you probably hate it a little bit too.
Hey, you can't do third-party games that you want on the Switch without me coming in and interrupting your video every few minutes.
Alright, fine. You can help. But just don't suggest stupid stuff like Mega Man or something like that. The first entry is an honorable mention segment of sorts, not because we want them any less or anything like that. It's just that it's a hodgepodge of games we want to see. Why don't you explain, Bob?
With the forthcoming Switch Virtual Console support, we're hearing rumors of finally getting some GameCube games. It's rumored to be launching with Super Mario Sunshine, Luigi's Mansion, and Smash Bros. Melee, but I would like to see some more third-party Virtual Console games. Give me Rogue Leader. It's still one of the best Star Wars flight sims to date. How about Metal Gear Solid: The Twin Snakes, which in my opinion is the best way to play that game, even though the first-person aiming does break some of the boss fights, but who gives a shit? And if you throw Resident Evil 4 on there, you might convince my brother to finally get a Switch so he can fulfill his burning need to have that game on every console it's available for.
I couldn't agree more. I'd love to see third-party GameCube classics like the definitive Soul Calibur 2 experience with everybody's favorite elf man, Super Monkey Ball, Beautiful Joe, and just for the sake of stoking the flames for the Beyond Good and Evil 2 rumors, why not throw the original on Switch as well? Star Wars Battlefront 2015 was a love letter to Star Wars fans everywhere. No other game to date has nailed the look, sound, and feel of the galaxy far, far away quite like that game has. The sequel could very well take what the original did and expand on it, while giving us those sweet, sweet space battles so many fans wanted. Also, you know, solo campaign, which would be great to play on a road trip on the Switch, wouldn't you say? Star Wars has a quite extensive history on Nintendo platforms, in addition to it being the type of media juggernaut that should be playable everywhere anyway. Sadly, EA probably wouldn't agree. They're still in the wait and see phase with Switch, which means all we're getting is FIFA until further notice. At least we'll always have Rogue Squadron nostalgia to fall back on, I guess. Stick of Truth was easily the funniest game I've ever played in my life. Its Paper Mario inspired battle system was fun to experience, and its bite-sized nature would be perfect for the portability of the Nintendo Switch. Nintendo was clearly a huge source of inspiration for the original game. Unfortunately, I can't see them trying to factor in Nintendo Switch this late in development to bring the sequel to their new platform. Ubisoft seems optimistic for Switch's future, but not that optimistic. There was a brief glimpse of hope for the game making it to Switch when South Park posted a meme from an old South Park episode, but since have denied it having any relation to their game making it to Nintendo Switch. Cloud's inclusion in the Super Smash Bros. Roster was one of the biggest surprises I've experienced in my gaming life. Who would have thought a character so rooted in the history of PlayStation would ever appear in a Nintendo developed and published game on their ecosystem? I sure didn't, and the only surprise capable of topping that one is if Nintendo somehow got Square Enix to bring a port of Final Fantasy VII Remake onto the Switch. How cool would it be to play that game wherever, whenever, and no, mobile doesn't count.
If you know me, you know I'm not an RPG guy, so I've never played Final Fantasy VII. I've never even owned a PlayStation. But I know that Final Fantasy VII is supposed to be the best, specifically for its story. So I'm really interested in the episodic remake that's coming out. I have to say though, with as much trouble as this development has had, I highly doubt we'll be seeing a Switch release. Plus, good luck prying this game out of the cold grip of Sony. They've got this game on lockdown.
Okay, well, Bob, clearly you're not paying attention. Square has already confirmed that the remake will be a timed exclusive for PS4, so I don't think it's outside of the realm of possibility that they'd bring it over to the only other viable platform for Japanese games, arguably the more important platform as far as Japanese interests go. There are a pretty good amount of games in the Kingdom Hearts series that have been released on Nintendo handhelds, and contrary to popular belief, there are some pretty important story bits in those games, so you'd think it would be a given for Square Enix to release the next installment of the series onto Nintendo's newest platform. But nope, probably ain't gonna happen. For what reason? Well, honestly, I couldn't say. Initially, Wii U's inability to run Unreal Engine 4 made it all but impossible, but with Switch being compatible, I don't know what to tell you. It's even coming to Xbox One, which no other Kingdom Hearts game has. So, I don't exactly expect logic from Square Enix at this point. Although to be fair, by the time the game comes out in 2041, Square may have used some of that time wisely and ported the game over. In all seriousness, Square Enix seems to be quite enamored with Switch, so maybe there is hope after all. Nintendo has stated intentions to make Nintendo Switch a platform that could thrive in the esports world. Tekken 7 could be a great contributor to achieving that goal. When people think fighting games, Tekken is undoubtedly always on the short list of frontrunners for the genre's history, and Tekken 7 looks like it'll do a better job of honoring its legacy than Street Fighter V did at launch. Bandai Namco was amongst the only major supporters during the Wii U's life, and could very well be planning to support Nintendo Switch in one way or another. Maybe Switch will see a Game of the Year edition? GTA 5 is a masterclass in gaming. Great story, great gameplay, tons of replayability, and it even handles dreaded things like DLC and microtransactions fairly. It was awesome on last-gen consoles, and it's awesome on current-gen and PC. How awesome would it be if we saw a game like that on a machine that we easily bring wherever we go? The fact that GTA 5 is on all the platforms I previously stated illustrates clearly how much staying power it has that can span even further. And I'd say it's one of the only games that have become essential to own as a gamer. Nintendo should be getting on the phone with pocketbooks in hand, ready to throw all of their money at Rockstar for this game. Will they? Sadly, I doubt it. However, Take-Two seems to be on board, with them being the first third-party dev in a long time to release a game with comparable SKUs for retail with the upcoming release of 2K18. So maybe it'll happen. Japan has already proven to be the mecca for portable gaming and obviously JRPGs, so what better platform to put one of the most important JRPGs in recent memory on Switch? This is another game I personally don't have a huge soft spot for, but it's hard to deny the simple fact that when things are this perfectly aligned, they're meant to be. Will they? Probably not. Atlus has already pledged to bring the next game in the Shin Megami Tensei franchise to Switch and has already proven to be an important partner for Nintendo, so it's not necessarily the dev I'm worried about here. For this game in particular, the problem is Sony. I'm pretty sure Sony is at the very least partially footing the bill for this game, and as such will more than likely throw a big old kibosh on this operation. Sad. If you ask us, it's the perfect match. We even made a video about it. Nothing would have been more perfect than seeing on the day of the Red Dead Redemption 2 teaser trailer release, the day of the initial Switch reveal, a Nintendo Switch logo plastered on the splash screen for RDR2. We already gushed about the importance of GTA 5, so admiration for Rockstar as a company should be clear as day. Red Dead Redemption 2 being on Switch has the potential to be a far bigger deal. How cool would it be if from day one you have the option to play a game like that wherever you go, with the ability to locally connect with 7 other friends in true LAN party fashion? Sadly, as I said before, I don't have much confidence in Nintendo's desire to throw some money and maybe a Switch engineering expert or two at Rockstar to make a port of their games happen on Switch. We can still dream though. That's more fun than actually playing anything, alright? Right?
Listen, alright? I'm a huge Red Dead fan. I've been waiting years to get my hands on some more Red Dead. I am going to want to play this game in the best way possible. I'm going to want to get the most out of my experience, and I'm not sure that the Switch can do it justice. I will be more than happy to play this game on the Switch if it's a full-featured game with the same detailed game assets. Playing the multiplayer via local co-op would be amazing, but if they dumb it down like they did to the old Wii versions of multi-platform games, then I'm gonna have to get it on the PS4.
Stop trying to rain on my parade. Look, the Switch isn't Wii. The Switch is a modern console with a modern architecture. The Wii wasn't. The gap between Wii and its contemporaries and the gap between Switch and modern consoles today is way smaller.
You know what? Let's not make this any longer than it has to be. Next game.
I love Overwatch. You guys probably love Overwatch. You know what? I'm pretty sure every person that's played it loves Overwatch. At the very least, they like it in secret. A shooter as charming as this one deserves to be on as many platforms as Blizzard can possibly muster. And I'm sure that the Nintendo faithful would embrace a game with fun and balanced gameplay, potential for growth as a franchise, and so many lovable characters. Wait, that sounds familiar. Why isn't this already a thing? Nintendo really needs to learn how to use a phone. In all seriousness, the only way I could see Nintendo lifting a finger to get Overwatch on Switch is if they could convince Blizzard to implement a mode compatible with local wireless play, so players can play on their own respective Switches in the same location. Again, Nintendo has shown great interest in competitive play, and Overwatch is a promising prospect in regards to being the next big thing.
Ooh, Overwatch. This is in my list of things that the Switch desperately needs. We need this very badly. This is a game that could absolutely run on Switch hardware. It's not going to be a graphical powerhouse, but I don't think that's particularly necessary for a simple multiplayer-only game like Overwatch. Plus, this would be a rebuy for me, you, and probably a lot of other people. This would make LAN parties so much easier. Playing a game like Overwatch directly next to your friends is an amazing experience. Blizzard, Activision, please. I know you're doodling around with the Switch. You can make this happen. Thanks for watching. Subscribe to this man's channel. And come on over to my channel, where we got a video that AJ's in about how Breath of the Wild is better than Ocarina of Time. And no, not because it's newer, you closed-minded piece of garbage. Thanks, goodbye.
Well, those are our thoughts. What do you think? Any chance of even one of these games landing on Switch? What other games would you like to see? And hey, you seem to enjoy this video, or at the very least are able to tolerate me and Bob talking at you about video games for a few minutes. That's awesome, because I was thinking, maybe click the video on the left to watch a video we made about Zelda over on the Wolf Den, or maybe the video on the right to watch the first video we did together on this channel.